Dear viewers, you must all have heard the name Matild Manukyan. Every year, when tax season comes, the name Manukyan is at the top of the list of record holders. Everyone points to her as an example for other businessmen. However, she doesn't appear much in public. She doesn't like being seen among the public or giving statements. You probably haven't even seen her face on television. Her name seemed almost magical. When you mentioned a tax record holder, she was the first to come to mind. By the early 1990s, almost everyone had memorized her name. For years, she never let go of the title. How was it that she stood out among so many industrialists and holding company owners to become the top taxpayer? Who was this mysterious woman living alone in an apartment in Shishli, paying the most taxes, without going to work in the mornings, without taking government contracts, and without exporting? Until Ayşe Arman brought her on screen on the 32nd day in 1992, almost no one had even seen her face. Matild Manukyan, or as the press called her at the time, the Brothel Madam. A woman whose name, when heard, made everyone perk up their ears and evoked two things simultaneously for everyone. One was money, the other was the obvious. In other words, a perfect subject for a profile. Perhaps it should be defined like this: a shopping center for the mentality that views sexual intercourse as a male necessity. A business sector that creates commercial potential not only at its center, but also in its vicinity with intermediaries, condom sellers, and brothel confectioners. It could also be called the bridge to manhood for millions of adolescents in the pit that has disillusioned millions of young girls with their fate. The place where those who succeed in their first experience are glorified as national heroes, while those who glorify them are degraded as prostitutes. And a woman whose name is associated with this place, Turkey's Madame Claude, the Brothel Madam. Matild Manukyan last came into the spotlight in 2020, long after her death.
The battle over the inheritance left by the famous brothel Madame Matild Manukyan to her son Keropi Çilingir has been ongoing for 18 years. Another claimant has emerged in the inheritance that 36 people want a share of. Keropi Çilingir's biological daughter filed a lawsuit claiming her father is very worn out and not in his right mind.
She had died years ago, leaving a vast inheritance to her only heir, her son. 36 people.
Manukyan's inheritance was also a topic of discussion in 2001. When she passed away at the age of 89 due to a heart attack, she was buried next to her granddaughter Linda, and immediately after, the inheritance lawsuit began. Those seeking a share had their eyes on the assets presented to the court. 6 five-star hotels, 2 factories, 2 mansions on the islands, over 500 apartments in Istanbul, 70 business centers, hundreds of apartments and lands with unknown addresses, dozens of buildings, 150 million euros in France, 220 commercial taxis, and numerous shares. One of the assets was over 300 women. The reason they didn't appear on the list was that he had released them all a year ago.
I've been working there for 17 years. Sister Matilda was very kind. We used to have coffee together. She has at least 300 girls. For the last year, we've been working for ourselves.
Did the truck driver send you? Do you have the document with you?
Alongside his inheritance, he also left a will. His greatest desire was for his life to be turned into a documentary. Although he won't be able to watch this documentary, he wanted to be portrayed by Nurse Liadiz. He didn't have enough time, but his incredible life story managed to inspire others. Bahar Hacı Bektaşoğlu wrote and performed a one-person play called Manukyan. Tayfun Sertaş, in the contemporary art exhibition titled The Tailor's Dream, presented it as a one-person, defined it as a minority.
They say those who feed go to heaven.
He gave 10,000 lira.
They tricked you. These are 1,000 lira.
But I will go to heaven.
This bird must be that. One for sure.
Brothels, the most traditional form of the prostitution sector, did not start with Manukyan, undoubtedly. However, the closure of this era happened with Manukyan. Due to being a port city, paid sex services began to be offered to foreign merchants in Istanbul starting from the 1850s. Initially nomadic, the number of brothels increased during the Crimean War, and the first permanent examples were seen. During that period, the relations between Turkey, France, and England increased the number of foreigners in Istanbul, and demand turned into supply. In this context, the first permanent examples of brothels were seen. The madame, who was inherent to the nature of the sector, was Langa Fatma, with her brothel in Edirne Kapı. The first official regulation was made in 1884, and those outside the brothel in Deyolu, approved by the Ottoman State Council, were banned. In other words, the legend of Abono Street began before the Republic.
Dirty sheets turned white from the darkness. Evening falls on Abono Street. On low couches, naked women, bad women, sorrowful women, in desperate loneliness. Women who have taken refuge in the mercy of sorrow, like blood, like pus. Their hearts resemble a crushed flower. There is no trace of happiness in their pupils.
Prostitution, which had been struggling with the syphilis epidemic in Istanbul for half a century, was gradually becoming a major problem. In 175 brothels, nearly 5,000 in the 1910s, a world-famous writer described the explosion in the back streets of Karaköy as follows.
Even the wildest years of the prosperity period in Europe cannot compete with the prostitution here.
Morning has come in Üsküdar. Hey, girl. Hey, you've turned the beautiful Shirali into a human's call. Move those passing by.
With the belief in the Republic, we can say that the underground sector was semi-nationalized. Although brothels were closed in consideration of public health, the illegal pimping could not be controlled, and the registration system was implemented. Now, the brothel workers on Abanos, Zürafa, and Alagaic streets would be able to work after undergoing a health check every Sunday.
Hey, Bird, look, son. Let me tell you so I'm not to blame. That box won't bring you any good. Quit while you're ahead. You won't get out of trouble. It has an owner.
After World War II, the Missouri, the visit of the battleship to Istanbul marked the beginning of another era for the brothels. While in Beşiktaş, the American sailors were told, "Yankee go home," in Karaköy, it was "Yankee welcome." The brothel, maintained by the governor's order, was considered a source of foreign exchange. The topic continued to interest literary figures.
It echoes. The drumbeats of the prostitutes from Abono Street. The English Palace is just a few steps away. The Vienna Hotel is a secluded harbor. In its corridors, men of solitude with wet mustaches and bloodshot eyes.
Sorry, brother. I'm looking for the brothel. Do you know where it is?
Sorry, sir.
I've just set foot in your country. Is the brothel within your borders?
What did you say? What did I say?
I said brothel. I mean the public house. Peace be upon you.
Are you coming from the brothel? Is Zulfiye there? Zulfiye, your corn is also very nice.
How do you get to the brothel?
The real story was supposed to start in the 60s, but Manukyan also has an heir. Matilde, the daughter of an aristocratic family and a veteran businessman. She studied at Dame de Sion and entered into marriage with the wealthy businessman Aram, whom she met at a ball while working as a seamstress. She was living a well-off, happy life and was gradually making a place for herself in high society.
When there was a ball in Tokatlı, you couldn't enter without a bow tie and diaphragm, nor could you enter the cafeteria.
But there were long black dresses like this. At that time, ties were already often considered strange.
Bonjour would stop.
Would you allow me?
Please, sit like this. Stand up.
Move aside, move aside.
Get out of my face, you Frenchie.
Even if you're a Frenchie, don't come.
Get lost from here. Go on. Fly away. I don't want to see you again.
This is the workplace of tax record holder Matild Manukyan behind this iron gate. We women don't know these places, but most men know these smokeless factories. And the name Manukyan is associated with the nameless beauties of houses numbered 8, Ottoman 10, and 14. Now we begin to tell our story.
During the years of World War II, while she was pregnant with her son, the wealth tax disrupted her husband's business, and she had to return to tailoring. It was this profession that changed her life. Her clients were usually high society ladies, but one of them was quite different from the others. Mrs. Bahais kept ordering dresses, but was nowhere to be found when it came time to pay.
Her debt reached 4,000 liras, a very large sum for those times. I talked to Mrs. Bahais. She told me, I can't pay the money, Matilda. Come and be a partner in my house. I couldn't tell my family. My husband would have left me. My family would have disowned me.
Bihish's house was on Abanos Street. Although she hesitated at first, she eventually started going to that street secretly from her husband, covering her face, and collecting her money as a partner in the house. And that was how it started. After a while, the house became entirely hers.
Welcome, everyone. What's up, brother? Didn't you like it yet? The one on the corner is very good. Trust me. We're close, brother. Have you chosen, man?
The one on the corner is good.
I put a stone on the one at the corner. My dear, I put a stone on the one at the corner.
After his wife's death, he was left alone with his son, so he quit tailoring and took charge of the safe in that house.
Turn around for me. Yes, she's thin, but she can manage a bit.
Your foot is quite good.
This girl needs care.
You're not buying a butcher's sheep, you know.
Don't get upset right away. Does she have any family?
It's clean goods, don't worry. She's a bit young, but she'll grow up quickly here.
It's not worth more than 300.
Stop with this talk. Let's settle it with a 500 toast. Hurry up or I'll change my mind.
All right, all right.
You can't negotiate with you anyway.
He had the house maintained and put the workers through regular health checks. Even though making the girls partners in the consultation fee, giving them one day off a week, and paying taxes down to the last penny made other bosses on the street uneasy, he never deviated from what he knew.
Those girls were involved in the business with the beauty of the house.
I sent the girls to good doctors. I ensured fair working conditions. You are welcome to my house. If they needed an apartment, I rented one to them for very little money. For that, many of the women are still very, very grateful to me today.
Saying, if I'm doing this job, I'll be the best, he increased the number of houses to 4 in 2 years. By 1963, the number of Manukyan houses on Abanos Street had reached 25. What did we find as we came to truly understand? That we became sinners, I swear.
Wow, how many doors it has.
How will I find Zulfiye?
The world is such a world that we are there because of sin.
Come on, come with me. Life is like this, or like that, or...
Room number 17 in the brothel was her office. where she held private meetings. She would come there after midnight and wouldn't leave until morning. At those hours, the person in charge of each house would line up to settle the daily account. The queue was getting longer every day, and the 1.5 meter steel safe was no longer enough to hold the takings. Meanwhile, she was constantly investing in real estate. The folder of deeds she owned started to thicken every year. During her business life, which oscillated between legality and illegality, she also found solutions to many problems. The Shish Radiye became her tenant. Matild Manukyan donated the Beyoğlu Police Headquarters building to the police force with the money she earned. Still, there were times when she entered these buildings she owned as a detainee. However, in a short time, the handcuffs would be removed, and she would be acquitted and released.
I have great influence, my lord.
I will send you a rosebud.
You will thank me. Where are you? All right, done. The girl will be there in half an hour. Goodbye. There's a job for you, Tala.
Is it someone we know?
An old client.
He was in Europe. He's back now.
Well, you didn't discuss the money.
I left that job to you.
In 1989, by paying 315 million lira in taxes, he became Turkey's top taxpayer for the first time. The following year, he paid 1,260 million, and in 1991, 2,614 million lira in taxes. The exponentially increasing figures and the records she broke every year would define her new title. Tax champion, brothel madam.
Wherever there was a profitable investment, I was there. I guess I have a knack for business. Welcome, my dear. Come on in. Oh, he's quite shy. Come on, sit down here.
No, I won't sit. I want to ask you something. Take a look at this picture.
Her eyes are beautiful. How's her figure?
She's lovely. Zulfiye is the most beautiful girl in the village.
We'll change her name. How old is she?
She's about 20.
Good. How much?
How much for what?
I asked you. How much do you want? Don't just stare blankly. How much are you going to sell the woman for? Tell me.
Sell her? Am I a pimp? I'm looking for this woman to clear my honor.
You're crazy. Early in the morning. Come on, get lost.
Where should I go? I'm looking for Zulfiye.
Are you messing with me? Is this a lost and found office, huh? If you're not a customer, don't waste my time. Go on, get to your business.
Don't be mad, Auntie. You know what? Why don't you ask those sisters? Maybe they know.
Hey, she said get going. Come on, move!
Her only luxury was custom-ordered cars. Cadillac, Ford, Buick, Mercedes, and Rolls-Royce. She had waited 3 full years to get her 1990 model custom-made Rolls-Royce. The upholstery was covered with the leather of 27 antelopes. She was the only one with this car which had silver accessories. It was hard to find another clue that showed her wealth.
I don't have cut expenses for that.
The corruption of politicians is corrupting the morals of society. Their ostentatious lifestyle is leading the public towards a wasteful way of living.
The work Cüneyt Manukyan did, naturally, required him to work with different groups. He was paying the gang he hired for street cleaning 40 times its worth. Another gang was tracking the indebted prostitutes. Yet another gang was maintaining order within the brothel. He tried to establish a system that kept trouble at bay by using illegal means legally.
Showing off in my place, huh? Haydar! Joseph!
Yes, Mother.
Throw this thug out!
Look at me! What's going on? He will search here.
Come here.
Let me go. You're so bad, don't hit. Move, come on, move. Don't hit, or I'll do something really bad. Seen around here?
If you come again, I'll gut you.
The balance, carefully established by Manukyan, who was known to meet many needs within the police force, where superiors called her lady and officers called her mother, was shaken in 1995. She survived the bomb attack, which resulted in the deaths of her bodyguard, Mehmet Urhan, and driver Nekati Akçay, with serious injuries. Urhan was a witness who testified against his former boss, Özer Çiller, in the Istanbul bank investigation. Moreover, he was the only witness. Although the police initially announced that a remote-controlled bomb was used, the incident was recorded as a natural gas explosion. Neither the bag containing a large amount of money nor the perpetrators of the incident were found. the matter was brushed off by calling it an assassination attempt on Matild Manukyan. Manukyan, however, stayed in the hospital for 8 months. She underwent 12 surgeries. At that age, it was difficult to endure such damage. She would express her disappointment as follows.
In our country, they don't appreciate people. They throw bombs at the person who pays the most taxes. They held ceremonies, gave awards, and then what happened? I was left with fractures and burns. I will no longer work and will engage in charity work. I will focus on health and education.
And she did. She also made sure to do it without making it too obvious. She was declared the spiritual mother by the staff of Cerrahpaşa Medical Faculty when the donation she wanted to make to Istanbul University caused controversy. She donated 10 times that amount to Kartal Education Hospital. Upon the Istanbul Mufti's statement that income from prostitution cannot be condoned just because donations are made, she announced that she had converted to Islam and wanted to build a mosque. The controversy was ended by the president of religious affairs of that period.
Our prophet said, "Becoming a Muslim erases and nullifies previously committed sins." Accordingly, there is no objection to a person who has become a Muslim using their previously acquired wealth to build a mosque.
Her name was never mentioned among the top taxpayers again. In her later years, she wanted to establish a museum to display the articles written about her, as well as the plaques and certificates she received. However, on February 17, 2001, she passed away from this world with all the secrets in her memory. Although she had previously declared that she had become a Muslim, her funeral was held in a church. Hundreds of sex workers attended. Emine from Abanos fell into Afron's hands at 17. Now she is 21. She withered away in 4 years. Her silky hair and body deteriorated. The fire in her hazel eyes extinguished. Her old cheerfulness is gone. Over time, she got used to swearing and smoking. Gradually, she adapted to her surroundings. She warmed up to the customs of the house. She is the daughter of one of us, the sister of another. In love with someone, Ebony Street no longer exists. It has been called Hala Street for quite some time now. However, since the fame of Ebony continued, a street with the same name in Şail caused discomfort in 2014. The Şail municipality wanted to change the street's name to School Street, citing that it evoked obscenity. The strange thing was that Ebony Street had been called School by the locals for years. After the last imperialist, his son living in America, also closed the houses. Hundreds of women who left their homes started working uncontrollably on the highways. In 2009, when the decision was made to convert Zurafa and Alagaic streets into parks, and other houses belonging to others were also closed, the brothel workers protested, saying the issue is the profit from the nearby Galata port. While the area, included in the Beyoğlu Culture Route project by the Beyoğlu municipality, is being cleaned today, a guest house register was found. In the ledger containing the list of those who worked there in the 80s, notes such as left, married, here were written next to some names. On the first page of the officially sealed ledger, it read, Owner Matild Manukyan.